Welcome to Radiant Health with Suzanne. I'm Suzanne Roth-Paul. I am your host this evening, and tonight we're going to be talking about a company called Lifewave. It's a wearable technology company that has a wearable patch that is safe and harmless and effective and affordable. And so for those of you who are new to me, and I am a certified health coach, and I am the author of an ebook called The Power in Your Pantry. Now I have a free e-guide that I encourage everybody to get, and I also have an upgraded a coupon in the free e-guide to upgrade to my 20 plus page ebook that dives deeper on the harmful ingredients that are in your pantry that you need to get out. I'm all about safe products and safe food, of course, and that's what I love about this podcast and sharing information about this incredible company called Lifewave. And we're going to be talking with my guest today, April Delaney, and she is a new friend and about a year-long user of the patches. And I'll let her talk to you about and explain how her symptoms are, what her symptoms are, and how long she's been with Lifewave, and then how we met. And so I think it's an interesting story, and we're so excited. I'm so excited to have April here today because we met last October, and it's just now been an opportunity for us to have her on. So I also want to mention that my ebook has been, free e-guide has been giving me trouble for downloading. So if for whatever reason you are interested in getting that e-guide, and you're not getting it, it'll get, ask for your email address. You'll get a message saying that they received your email and that the e-guide will be sent to you. If not, just let me know. Send it to me via any of my social media handles or on the description part of this video, which will be posted within 24 to 48 hours. There's always a description, and that's where you can reach me on my email or through my website. So I appreciate that. So that I know that if you're not getting it, let me know. And then the other thing I wanted to just mention before we get started is about this wearable technology. If you're new to me or you're watching the recording, so Lifewave is a wearable technology company, and we're talking about a little patch that is an adhesive back, so it sticks on your skin, it sticks on parts of your body, and I happen to have one here on my hand, and this is a large intestine meridian. And one of the things that the patches are based on is meridians or acupuncture points. And that's the beauty of these, is that if you've ever had acupuncture, we know it works. And if any alternative health folks are working with you on meridian points, that's where a lot of our symptoms can be abated when you're dealing with these locations on our body. And I've done acupuncture, it works, but it's painful, it's expensive, and it also takes time to go into the doctor and to go in to see a specialist. And obviously you can't carry it around with you like you can these patches. So we're going to be talking about how April and I connected and what I was able to do to help her by having the patches on hand. So, on that note, I just want you to know that it is based on, Lifewave is based on a phototherapy or a type of photobiomodulation. I have a lot of videos on explaining the technology, how it works, and how you use it, and the science behind it. So be sure and go watch. I have up to 50 videos now. You can find a lot of information about the patches, and you can find all 11 of our patches I've done a video on each one of them. So Lifewave does have a lot of different patches. We're not going to be talking about any specific one today. April and I will be discussing, probably what she's been using, how I supported her recently, and then obviously, we'll just be touching on them. And we're talking about symptom relief only. This is not a product or a conversation or a product that treats, cures, or prevents any sort of disease or disorder or condition. We are talking about symptom relief of those things, and that is from our testimony. So anything I share is my personal experience as well as April's. And, I do want to mention that's one of the reasons why a lot of people say, well, how come I've never heard of this company? It's 20 years old. It was founded in 2004. And I think it's because a doctor put it in really good terms recently that I listened to who uses the patches. And they said they hadn't heard of it either until a client had come in with wearing one and wearing a patch and talking about the benefits. It is a testimonial company. You do need to know about these patches from somebody who's used them, because you're not going to believe the stories that come out of it. You're going to say, this is too good to be true. And it really is. The power of the patch is what we call it. It is almost too good to be true. So, but it is. They work and they're effective. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring April in.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey,
dear.
it's so great to be here.
Thank you, dear.
Thank
It's so nice
you.
to see you. It's been a while. I think it was October of last year, and I'm honored to have you. And I know the one thing I didn't mention about you, which is you are you're a nutritionist. You're also in the wellness industry. You have a lot of social media exposure too, and you do a lot of fun things about food and health, good health as well. So you found the right place when you found Lifewave because of what it's done to support you and your community. But I really love what you do. We're kindred spirits. We do a lot of the same thing. So it's such an honor to
Yes.
have another one of you out there doing all this wellness warrior work, and especially now as a Lifewave sister.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. It's such an honor and a privilege. And yes, I'm so glad I get a chance to meet with you and see you again. Like I said in the post, like we're swiftly becoming friends and you're a mentor for me and really starting from that conference. So yes, thank you so much for having me. Um,
Works.
Yes, too good to be true indeed. And I think for me, it really had to happen this way. My path has been divinely led, and it had to be at this time in my life for me to be able to bear this testimony and to even just be in a place where I could say yes to have the testimony to have in the first place. And so I've been with Lifewave since March last year, so almost a year. Pretty much feeling like it's the best year of my life. I'm not even joking, just physically. So I'm just, I could cry. I was introduced to the company through a trusted friend from my church. And it was on a particularly bad pain day. That's one of my symptoms. And I was glad that I said yes that day. And I'm going to try to kind of give you my Cliff Notes version here so I don't take up so much time. But so some of my symptoms, I knew I've had something for a very long time, if not my entire life. As a kid, I experienced things like insomnia and pain also. And I grew up in a way where it could have been anything, but at the same time, I remember feeling uneasy in my body, even at a young age. And growing up, or at least then, I'll just say in about 2004, 2005, I received a diagnosis and it just hit me wrong. And the answer at that time was here's some pills, here's some medication. And at that time, I was actually pretty, I was great. I was fine taking the medication because I was just in so much pain. So I had pain, insomnia, nausea, vomiting, and as I've gone through life, more just some even severe muscle contractions sometimes. Um, and anyway, the answer to pills, I did take the pills and it created more chaos and more pain. Just so you know, I'm reading some notes here. So thanks.
Of course, don't worry about it. We all do, and that's
Got to stay
perfect.
on track, right? I tend to get a little bit verbose. So if I take a tangent, you're going to have to, right? So anyway,
Takes one to know
so
one, so I'll definitely be able to do that. Go right ahead, hon.
right on. So again, I got this diagnosis, and it just was felt wrong. But I went through the motions, and it created more pain, more chaos. And then at that time, I was like, I've had enough. I was even lost a gallbladder, and when they took it out, they're like, "That's weird. We didn't even get gallstones in there." So it's been kind of a mystery, right? What's going on here? And so I started then on my own health journey in 2008. I started with a yoga certification, then personal training. Then I'm actually a certified nutrition coach through NASM and a certified personal trainer. So I have that. And also, I had taken some certifications in acupressure and cupping during that time, which was kind of interesting, right? A little extra flavor and divinely led puzzle piece there, right? And so, I was doing great, in and out of remission, though. I had my good days, my bad days, but everything was going fine for the most part. And that's what I thought I was living with for the rest of my life, was just this type of situation. Um, and then I had my son at 40 years old. And I again found myself in a unique opportunity, or a unique place, because my body was going back together and I felt it going back together wrong. And it, man, this was when everything just started kicking off again, though. So again, just this out of remission stage lasted a very long time. And around Christmas of 2023, I thought I was dying. It felt like I was dying. I was going to cancel Christmas. And so I had found a natural doctor, and I'd been working with her throughout 2023. And she started ordering some tests for me. And all the tests started showing stuff. So they started finding things. I had to go through a bone marrow biopsy, lymph node biopsies. And at that time, then they sent me to oncology. And then at that time, I'm a single mom. So it's my 7-year-old son, right? You know, he's 7 now. But at that time, we experienced a house flood too. So I'm seeing oncology, my house is destroyed. And then I just kept hearing, I'm just cleaning house, because I'm a believer. And so that really gave me some peace. Like, he had some direction, God has some direction for me, and just to keep persevering and enduring. And so I was like, okay, we got this. And so in August of 2024, I got my diagnosis, and that just opened everything up for me. And I was able to then use all the gifts and talents that God's given me, my nutrition, the personal training, because I would get to a point in my life where no amount of coaching was actually kind of getting me anywhere. Even though I had all this education and I was using it on myself, I was like, there was still this disconnect. And so now there was like, it was working. Food was working, nutrition's working, exercise is working, all my corrective exercise, functional movement. So I'm starting my business. Woohoo! Let's help people. I'm super excited about this. And yet I'm still in and out of remission. You're right. What's happening?
Oh my,
And
I know that feeling. The imposter syndrome feeling where you're like, how am I supposed to be helping people when I'm suffering as well? And that's what's so interesting. It makes you the perfect candidate because you're like all the others out there suffering. It kind of gives validity that we are human. And that
yes,
anything you see online, no matter how good they look or how much they appear to be a certain way, we all have our own suffering in our bodies. We just do. Nobody gets away
yes.
without it. But thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's
And I'm
amazing.
such like a person about the truth that for me, like, I felt like that is such a disconnect that I needed to continue to persevere. And so again, when my friend at church says, well, so again, like, I found another company that led me to my yes, because this product had a patent plant. And so I was like, oh yeah, it's worked right. But again, still having bad days. Then my friend offered me this patch. I tried the patch, and I was like, that same day, again, being like, I tried it. And when I put it on by the end of church, because I was at church, I was in pain everywhere except for really where the patches were. And I
Right.
was ready to say yes to the presentation then at that point, because again, you're talking to somebody who's tried so many things and pills. Oh yeah. And I didn't mention, right? So I get this diagnosis, great. But their answer again was more pills. And I was like, no,
Yes.
I'm
I
not doing
know. And I love it because I was going to ask you, you had a diagnosis. Now you haven't shared that with what it is, but this you could, if you're uncomfortable, you don't have to, but it may be
not
the
at all.
symptoms of what it was. And then obviously the amount of medications and different things you were taking and how you were probably hemorrhaging money, which is what so many of us have done. And you're talking to the
Yes.
queen of pain and discomfort and issues, and also the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars I spent. And then when LifeWave showed up, it was the one thing that fixed something I'd had for 5 years. So,
And you're
it,
willing to say yes. It's like, and that's part of the takeaway, which is at the end, right? Because I'm like, oh, it's like, be expectant of great things and be all in and try it, because man, it's changed everything for me, everything. I'm waking up in a new body every day, like really. And I'm not even exaggerating about that. Every day, I'm not necessarily saying it's always a great day, but instead of hurting out of injury, I'm hurting because I'm healing, but I can tell the difference. It's so awesome. Anyway, like I just was so grateful for the offer. I said yes, and then yes, just even talking about the patches themselves, um, I you know I just wasn't sure what to expect. So I was diagnosed, I'll say that because I remember you asked, with something called sarcoidosis. So funny how everything I was feeling like I was dying of cancer. And sarcoidosis is named after sarcoma, which is cancer. And instead of all my tumors and lesions being malignant, they're all benign. So I have over 20 lesions in my spleen. It feels like I'm eating glass like regularly. Like they're in my bone, like hips everywhere, right? I've had PET scan done and I lit up like a Christmas tree. And I'm really eager to see what it might look like now, or at least in the future, right? Because, anyway, like I guess I can just feel the difference. And so it feels like all my weak spots are becoming stronger, if that makes sense, right? Like every little spot that showed up on that PET scan, it feels like it's almost they're becoming stronger and my body's realigning. Like whoop. And so it's very exciting. And I could tell the difference. So I started with the X39, and I'm all about efficacy over here. I'm sure you are too. So I'm like all about like, let me try X39 for 2 weeks. Boom, put it on. I could tell a difference. It has its frequency. Then I tried the Eon, and then I tried SP6 because I'm also perimenopausal, ladies. Woo!
Oh no, on top of it all. Yeah, that's when all of my health issues started. And so I totally can relate. And that's a whole gamut of things from not sleeping well to, chronic migraines, headaches, and obviously mood. So anxiety. Do you suffer from anxiety? And did that
And
bring?
all of that exacerbates my pain. All of it
Mhm.
exacerbates my symptoms. I almost can feel my body is so sensitive. I can feel when like the hormones are being released, it feels like. And then I'm like, ooh, I might be getting angry, like feeling something soon, or like, I just can feel changes in my body. And so,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Mhm.
And that's a key thing. And I want to mention that, a lot of us, including myself, used birth control pills. And when I was going through my challenges in my early 40s, the doctor I was seeing, who was a conventional doctor, and shame on her, because there was a lot of things that she could have helped me with had she have been more up to date on, there were functional medicine doctors then, there were holistic doctors then, and they were doing things to keep people off of medication. The birth control patch is not benign. And so I do try to mention that. I just want to plug that if you are using it and you're in perimenopause or you're old, you've been on them for longer than 20 years, you're getting toxic burden loads from those pills because they're a medication. But she told me to stay on them since, there was nothing else to do. And so I did unfortunately stay on for another 5 years and kept and just perpetuated the problem, but it was masking things. It wasn't, so if you're not on any sort of birth control pills or anything, your body has more ability to, give you messages. Now I was getting messages, but it wasn't the right ones. And so what was happening was it was just aggravating. So once I got off of those, I started to see improvement when I started changing my diet. Did you want to talk about anything with nutrition? And because you're a nutrition specialist and are a coach yourself, were you doing all the right things back then? I mean, this has been a year and a half or so, almost a year with Lifewave. How were you? How was your
Yes.
diet and nutrition? Was it all good? Was
I am really particular over here. And so I try really hard to eat for what's right for my body and hydrate and do all the things. I mean, everybody has their moments, right? Where we're doing our 20% and not the 80, but at the same time, yes, like I've been diet, like everything's been, and it was like I said too, like there was just I would hit a wall almost, you
Yes.
know,
Yes. And I
it
was
was,
also eating well too. For most people who knew me when my kind of come to Jesus moment was they were like, how could that happen to you? Because you're like the model of good health. Because I did eat well, but I was a sugar addict and I was a sweet addict and I wasn't reading ingredients. I didn't know about industrial seed oils. This has been 20 years ago. And so
Yeah,
the things we know about today, people are still having the same symptoms you and I are having, and yours was recent too, that it's just getting to the root cause and then also using a products that are actually helping heal. The intrinsic thing about LifeWave that's so important is that it is helping the patches are not telling it the patches are like a mirror or a reflector. That's what I like to say. They have like little proprietary crystals embedded in the white part of the patch, and that is just reflecting back into the body to tell your natural healing ability, which is your cell health, to do the work it needs to do. So it's a messenger. And so that's the beauty that when you're supporting it with good diet and nutrition, you're going to get more out of them. But the nice thing is you were already there. So imagine had you not been, you probably would have had other things going. It could have could this condition lead to cancer?
you know, my I haven't had anyone actually say yes, but that is what I could see. I mean, my father has Parkinson's, and I air
Yes.
quote for a reason because he has a lot of the same symptoms that I have. And I've done some research. If the sarcoid or the granules that are emitted in my body during whatever stress or whatever happens in my body, these granules are released and they attack the type 1 tissues of my body. So
Hmm.
my organs, my bones, my skin, all these, and it causes the tumors and the lesions. Now, and so this thing with the Parkinson's, I read that if the granules get to the basal ganglia of your brain, you can have these involuntary, like tweaky movement. And that's my dad. And as I've gotten older, in fact, some of my really tough moments where I'm having really a lot of symptoms, I'm definitely having those involuntary movement patterns. And so
Hmm.
I don't know. I sarcoidosis is rare, I guess.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of
I
it.
heard about it on House, if you remember that show from a long time ago. You know that show, I heard it there, but I've never heard of it before. So, but again, they do talk about, again, diet, exercise, and stress and everything that help mitigate the symptoms also. So you're right, I've been there. I wasn't always like this because, like I said, back in the day when I was taking all the pills, that's what I was doing.
Mhm.
But at some point, something's got to give. I almost went septic. I had to wear one of the catheter bags on my body for 3 days because I couldn't go to the bathroom. That's how I almost died many
Oh
times
no.
because
Really?
of
Oh
this
my
illness.
goodness. Oh my
And
goodness.
so it's been really rough. Like I feel like I'm saying, I wake up in a new body every day.
Hmm.
It's just phenomenal. I'm really particular about what I say yes to. And this company in general is just amazing. Again, like when I worked with you at the conference, like I cried walking back to the hotel because it was the first time that my spleen, like my guts, like I wasn't in that glass feeling pain. So I really learned from you in that moment. Like I now put the X39 here. Sometimes the Ice Wave, Eon, like X39 is right here on my stomach right now, just because I'm nervous, and when I get nervous, my heart pounds and I can
Yes.
literally feel it in my stomach. And now my spleen's hurting. Right now, I
Um,
can feel it, but it's not killing me, right? It's amazing what it just down to simply that on a day to day,
wow.
just being able to take away stress from like being on a Zoom call, like it's like,
I know. Well, and I put the Eon, that's the one that you wear here. This is helping the small intestine. And what that could be for you too is wearing Eon is our favorite patch for people that suffer from anxiety, depression, mood issues, and stress around public speaking. So I have it on just to calm my nervous system and to just be I mean, I do this a lot, and but it's still always anew. I get the butterflies in my stomach. I stumble over my words, but it's
Yeah.
still, it's part of being a human and being in front of people and wanting to be your best. But this particular patch, it's interesting that when you had your condition, and why don't we step back for a minute now and tell how we met,
Yes.
and then how we use the patches to help you at that moment. And I did want to mention something with we were talking about this large intestine. This is a particular acupuncture point or a meridian. And what it does, and April, you might want to think of this too, when you wear this, when you're starting to feel that anxiety and anxiousness, is it's so good for headaches, toothaches, anything on the neck and your neck pain. It's good for your head support. And you're not wearing it at your head, but it's good for your head support. And it can really, really help with sinuses. It's a stress reducer, as I just mentioned, and an immune strengthener.
It's great because you're talking about Eon, and I found a new spot. Like I just got my pack of Eons today. So
Oh, good.
I put it on the LV3, I think it is that the foot down at the toe.
At the top of
And
the
that's
foot.
like one of my new favorite spots, but I haven't tried it here. So I'm going
Yes.
to try that next.
We love it right here on the web. And I was talking, and I've mentioned this before, that when I'm uncertain about where to put something, I don't have time to go look at my notes and I've forgotten. I put it on, I just Google, where is a meridian for anxiety, or where is a
Mm.
meridian for my eyes? And if you don't mind, I'll just take a second and show.
Yeah,
I
please.
put
It's a
this
good
forward.
caveat.
I put two patches that we have called the energy patch. And I've got one in the energy patch. It comes with two, a white one and a tan colored one. And you'll see I've got one here and I've got one here. So why I'm wearing them on my head and in my eyes is because I haven't been sleeping well. No, I have been sleeping well. I have my patches. I have my regimen. I've been sleeping well, but not enough sleep. And so my eyes start getting kind of discomfort. I get a lot of discomfort and they just get kind of goopy. And this is a good meridian point for your eyes. And so when I put them here and I was wearing them, it helped tremendously. And then I had another late night last night and I didn't go to bed on time. So my point about that is paying attention to your symptoms because your body's telling you something. So in my particular case, my eyes were telling me, Suzanne, you're not sleeping enough and you've gone 3 or 4 nights without ample sleep. Well, you're not detoxing properly, because when you don't sleep well, then you don't detox and then you end up retoxing and those toxins don't get out, especially if you're not sweating and exercising. So having said that, and I digressed a bit, but I wanted people to know the power of these different patches and what they do. So when you said you've got X39 on your belly, we have 2 locations for those. Are you wearing anything on your neck?
So today, no, I don't have anything on my neck, but I did put the Eon on my foot,
Okay.
right? The so those two are my right now my go-to. If I could, I loved the X39, the Eon SP6, and X49 on me. If I could get all those, I'd be like set. But for now, my go-tos are X39 and Eon because those are at the, and if anything, like I said, I tried those four. I tried all of them separately. I could definitely tell like a different frequency between each one every time I tried
Wow.
another one. So I leveled up somehow, right?
Yeah.
And so my thing is, again, let me go back and test it. And so I took one each away, each individually, right? And by the time I got back down to the X39, I was still feeling amazing. So the point is that you're just leveling up your game. Like, at
Mhm.
least for me, that's my experience, is a level up when
Yeah,
I
I
add them
love
in.
that. I love that expression because I do have a guest on here tonight, Chakra. Well, I did welcome her earlier, and she has been trying the patches, and she said this kind of same thing. When you put it on, it just kind of like you feel elevated. You feel she like her spine. She was feeling even stronger. Now we were putting it on the X39 goes on the top of the spine, and then it can go on the bottom of the belly button. And what we're talking about with those locations, we have instruction sheets that come and show you where to place all the the different patches, and they are based on like, as I said, meridians or acupuncture. And the nice thing is our body's divided into different vessels called the governing vessel, and there's two different locations on our body. So when you wear it on your neck, you're working on different parts of the upper body, and when you wear it on your belly, you're working on different parts of the lower body, and particularly organs. So why you like it on your stomach is because, like me, we have gut issues. A lot of it's leaky gut syndrome. A lot of it is just dysbiosis of your gut microbiome, and then also you've got all the other things that you had going on with this condition, but also medications you've used in the past. And all of these things come up. And your little sweetheart dog is just sitting there. And now we have
Yeah,
another one. You have
I do.
two.
I'm a giant sucker. So I've got even a cat upstairs. So, so
So you've got your pets. Well,
yeah,
and
we've got our babies.
so thank you for that. But let me just, well, maybe if you just have a second here, I did want to ask you, when we met, I wanted to express that I don't remember, April. I think somebody had told me you were sitting down we were at a dinner table together, and there was a bunch of us. And I believe I asked who you were or who you're with or under, whatever. And I believe it was Kristen who shared that you were having some digestion issues. So why don't you tell us
Yes.
what that experience was, and then what I did, because I came over to meet you.
So then you came over and we met, and that's when you were really just talking about like what's you. It was so gracious just to even be inquisitive about my guts in the first place. But we had a great conversation because you really helped with even pointing me in a direction of potential parasite, which I had thought about, but was like, but really just listened and just was willing, like like I said, I love the little wallet that you had too. It was just like, okay, tell me about your symptoms and let's just do this. And so that night, I believe it was energy enhancer or ice wave, and but you glutathione for sure.
Yes, I
And
probably, and I'll just for a second, I'll show my little patch pouch. And so what the reason this is important is because we have 11 patches. The only one I don't have in here is the AccuLife, which is for horses. I don't tend to patch horses enough. I wished I had more to patch because I love them. But this is my patch pouch. So I carry this around in my purse, and it's just a wallet. It's where you can store two compartments for your credit cards, and then I use the credit cards and my money in one section, and then I have the patches in the other. So I'm always at the ready to patch myself or someone else. And so what I did is I walked over with this, and I have all the patches, and maybe I didn't have the ice wave. The ice wave is the one for pain, and you had some pain going on, and so we use the energy and the ice wave patches, sometimes interchangeable, and it just depends on you. If I have discomfort, if I have ice wave, I'll do both. But right now I had the energy because that move stuck energy. So she had some situation going on. She'd just eaten dinner. So we put those patches on first, the energy, I believe, like you said. And then glutathione, eon, and carnosine are the three YH powerhouses for
right.
organ support, for immune support, and for inflammation. And so I don't remember exactly what we did, but we did
You
glutathione,
just
which is,
patched my gut.
I just
You were
did what
like,
I could.
just put them on.
And where
Just put
her
them
pain
on.
was. And that's the moral of the story. We've talked about it a lot of times. If you don't know where to patch, just do point of pain. Forget all of the meridians, and if it has to be on your foot to help your heart or wherever it is for other organs, just get them on the point of pain. And so I'm pretty sure within minutes, if not less, you started relaxing. Your gut started, kind of the pain started mitigating.
That's right.
And
And
then
like I said, by the time we were walking back to the hotel, the hotel room, I was crying to the team because
oh,
that was walking with me. And I was like, I stopped in my tracks and I started crying. And because I was like, I've never not felt pain here before. Like
huh,
I didn't realize how disassociated from my gut
right.
I had become because
Yes.
of how painful it is.
Thank
And
you.
so what the experience gave me was an opportunity to reconnect even more so with my body that I've never been able to before.
Oh, honey, I know. And the beautiful thing about that, and I teach people that all the time, is that you don't know how much pain you are suffering with until the pain goes away. And so I've been there, and that's what the compassion was for gut issues. And so that was my meeting with her, and that
Yeah, and then
with
you gave
you.
me though, I mean, that you had also generously given me a silent night or an Alavita or both.
Yeah.
And I believe trying, because I hadn't slept. I mean, travel's hard for everybody.
Mhm.
For me in particular, I struggle, and especially with this in the sleep department. And when I
Yes.
don't sleep, I don't eat, and all the not and everything kind of blah, blah, blah. And so I was kind of struggling with the sleep, and I slept that night with the out with whatever I think it was silent nights I tried that night, and if not, it was the Alavita, one of those two. And I had slept 6 hours, and I had not slept a 6 hour block in a long time. And so I now have the Alavita here also as, so it's really gave me an opportunity to really, again, working on a very limited fixed budget, to experience also the opportunity to experience the patches in a different way, different ones. And then I've been able to dial in and fine tune and tune up my temple even more so. I've been able to
Yes.
tune myself up because
Yes.
of that. And this is, again, caveating to this amazing team, this dream team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, like that's what it really is. Like, I mean, that's a huge takeaway for me. Just the camaraderie, the, um, this team, just you have this altruistic people coming together who really truly want to help see people feel their best, feel better than they've ever felt before. And that's what happened. It was amazing. And even the
Yeah.
next day, we ran into each other again because we're part of the team. And
Hmm.
I was experiencing a little vertigo. And here you are. Try this behind your ear, energy enhancer. Boom.
Well, yeah. And I'm going to reiterate, the patch pouch this is like such a savior. And this is like,
Hashtag goals,
yeah.
patch goals.
Well, and you know what happens, and I think for those of you watching, is that, in my past, and I would assume for yours as well, April, what did we do? We didn't have a patch pouch. We had like a little thing with all the compartments for my Advil, the Excedrin, everything I had to take for pain, because I was a sufferer of pain too. And for the longest time, I didn't have Lifewave because I was trying to avoid medications, but I was doing that because I had the really bad indigestion pains that would get me, and I didn't have enough acid in my system. And it was not enough acid. You would think it was too much, and so there's that misnomer again about taking antacids. They are counterintuitive. They're horrible for your gut. They're doing more damage. You don't have enough. It's not like they're trying to take away the anti-acid is trying to take it away, and I didn't have enough acid. And so I didn't know that until I went to a functional medicine doctor and we tested. But the point was, with all of this, is that you have it on the ready. How many products do people carry around in a patch pouch in their purse that will do what this does? And I highly, recommend that you think about this from the perspective of immediate care for emergencies. Somebody gets hurt, your family member or yourself. You can't sleep at night. You pull out whatever it is you need from that eve. If you're not sleeping well, to just you've got a cramp in your foot. You can, and this is another thing, April. I don't know if you know this, but say you've got the night patch on, and all of a sudden you get a cramp in your leg or you get a pain in your gut. You're too tired to get up. You can take the silent nights off. You can take the Alavita off, whatever it is you're wearing. Eon and carnosine we wear a lot at night too. And you can put it on that point of pain, not even get out of bed. And there's a very highly likely chance that it's going to stop the pain. Doesn't matter what you put on it.
I'm
So
going to try that because I mean, you know, I'm up a lot at night because my body just doesn't, like it just does its thing, right? And so that would be nice not to try that first. Like I'm going to try that
yeah.
first, and then yeah, I'll definitely have something else to report back to you on now.
Yeah,
It's
and
awesome.
also
Yeah.
that's why a lot of us wear the Eon patch at night, because it is one of those calming, it helps people sleep. It's probably the most used patch for everything because it came on. It was like the last patch David, one of the last patches David had made before the X39. So the everybody prior to X39 49, which is our signature patches. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go watch the videos and Google the X39. It's the one that's catapulted the company to, stardom and also to just growth. But the Eon was the one, April, that everybody was using for just what the X39 does now. So it was for anti-inflammatory, and it was helping inflammation, it was helping discomfort and those sorts of things. Now we can't make claims, but just get one and try it is all I can say. And so if
Right.
you're wearing it on your head or anywhere on your body, I wear it a lot on my head. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys what I do. Here's full disclosure here. Here's a bobby pin, and here's the Eon patch. Now this is what's amazing about this. So this is Eon patch. I didn't take the tape off. You pull it, Nikki, our extraordinary leader with Lifewave on our team. You put it under your scalp, and then I pin it in. Now this happens to be my crown location, and this is where your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, everything. It's control central as in acupuncture or a meridian point. And so I use it there for sleep, and I'm using it right now for my eyes. So I'll put it at nighttime. I'll leave it on longer, and it will help my eyes and anything on my head. But you can do so many things with these. I mean, the lessons to learn, I would say, April, we'll have to come back. Maybe we'll do a patch party online and
Yeah, that'd be fun.
talk about the different ways that you can patch and the benefits of. And so I think people would really enjoy that because you can see, it's got carnosine and Eon, so I'll put them together. I'll go up here, stick them under my scalp, and sleep at night. If my skin breaks out, I put on carnosine, clears my skin up. Because I have a story. If you go listen to the carnosine product review, this was my baby, my savior. This is what got me to. Sorry, bit of hair stuck on it. This is what got me to. I've got to use this product because I had a skin rash on my face for 5 years. Nothing would clear it up. Doing all the holistic stuff, doing everything I could, herbs and vitamins and nutritional support. But this in 3 months, and in
Well,
6 months.
I get certain skin things because with sarcoidosis, it'll affect my skin too. So everything, all these little things are little kisses that you're given, right? Because I
Nuggets.
tend, yeah, little
And
great tidbits.
And
Mhm.
Alavita, what we're talking about with there is it's a skincare line, and you get they're brilliant. It's a day cream and a night cream, and then David came out a couple years ago with an eye wrinkle cream, and so people are always commenting me on my complexion, and I've suffered from skin acne all of my life. Well, up to now. Prior to that, I was always a skin issue person, and so for people to compliment me now is just it's just like shocking. But I will say it's helped with the wrinkles and it's helped with the skin tone and vibrancy. But you saw how I just did these. I don't even take the pad,
Yeah,
don't take the back off. And
that's awesome.
this is what our team has done for people is we have a expert line of folks that actually are on our team that are acupuncture and meridian experts. And so they know, they learned early on because they've been with the company at least 13 years to 20 years. Some of our original, some of the oldest and the longest LifeWave users and that have been kind of like David's right-hand man is on our team. And so they not only learned from David firsthand, but they also learned how to patch according to acupuncture points. And so we have such an amazing team. And it was fun to be able to play it forward to April because I learned that in the last 5 years. First year, I wouldn't have known what I was doing, but you caught me at a time where I resonated with your pain because I was there. And there's nothing worse than gut pain other than headaches. Headaches are worse than gut pain. And so I love that you are seeing great improvement. You're not like having that excruciation that you had, and that you basically are seeing every day stronger and stronger results. And
Yes.
that's what it's
Now
all
let's
about.
bring on that X2O, right? Bring
Yes.
it on.
I know. So those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we do have a water machine that David has come out with. I've got lots of product reviews on those. You can go back. I think the first one I did was last summer with actually a acupuncturist. Her name is Dr. Karen Kahn, and she interviewed David on the new product when it was going to come out. We're not getting it until hopefully March, but sometime this year. And she's an acupuncturist, and she uses the patches, and she said it's changed her client's life. So she can treat people, but imagine now you get to go home with these, and you can keep the good health going for the rest of the week. You don't have to run back in. And so it is actually what I love about it is people getting the benefit of going to a specialist, getting what they need, and then releasing them because what they give you works. That's the most important part. You don't want new people, you don't want the same people coming back all the time, then it's not working. So that's what we love about the patches. And April, I'm so glad that you were here to share. You look vibrant and you seem to be just, elated that you are learning how to use the patches and that you're getting such benefit because you certainly look vibrant. And
Yes.
you already did when I saw you in October. So they were working already on you. I
Oh
could
yeah.
tell. But it's
And
an
again, like
inside
I
job.
said, every day it's a new beginning. It's new for me. It's amazing. It's exciting. I'm so excited so excited to be here.
It's such a
So
gift. And
excited.
I call Lifewave my lifesaver. Lifewave is a lifesaver because it is. These are like your little, what do you call it? Your but when you're on the boat and they have to throw you
Life
the
preserver,
life
a life
preserver.
vest, you
Yes.
know?
And so you end up
Yes.
having this on the ready and it's just been such a saver for me because I travel a lot too and I'm overseas. I can't go see anybody. I don't have insurance for that and I don't want to. And so there's
Yeah,
been
no, I went to Rwanda recently and I brought them to Rwanda. I was patching it up there, like, yes, taking it.
See, and
It's
that's
so
what's
good.
so good about these is that you can actually carry them around with you and they're always available. And it's, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And then at nighttime when you wear the patches, you're not wearing them for a full 12 hours. So you get to reuse those a little more because obviously they are not being used for 12 hours, but amazing product that we have and an amazing testimony. So April, such a delight to see you. Did you have any closing, words or anything you wanted to mention to anybody that obviously has symptoms and you've been through this and they've heard me enough, but is there anything you'd like to say to kind of encourage people to try this product if they haven't or to learn more about all these different patches?
I guess really just be open. I know if I would have, just my being open I was just so excited, glad that I said yes, just one more yes. So being open, being curious, asking questions, and just really just be expectant of great things. You deserve great things and really go all in. Give it a try. Like do what the company says. Like if you're gonna try it, really try it. Reach out. There's people here like mentors. We all want to help. Like we were saying, everybody here wants to help people succeed and feel well. Reach out. Like it's just been such an amazing um opportunity in all aspects of healing. So I'm really excited about the future with this company, and I'm excited to bring it along into this next season of life. And I'm excited for everybody else too that's willing to say that's saying yes. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Beautifully said, hon. Thank you so much and for being here. And we certainly want you to come back and keep sharing the good news. We're getting lots of love from you. The heart's going up and people appreciating our stories and your story especially. And, to really to understand that the power of the patch really is to wear it and try it and give yourself at least 3 months. So the
you deserve
company
it.
you deserve it. Yes, especially if you've been suffering for a long time. I mean, I was in my 40s and I'd been suffering, for a long time. Had I known about the patches 20 years ago, what a difference it would have made for me. And now I get to pay it forward to folks. And I've actually recovered from a lot of stuff just by being with the company for 5 years and using it faithfully. And so there is, it's age reversing. It has so many potential of inside work that it's doing on our bodies that it's actually not doing it. Our body's doing it naturally, but it's getting that support. And so, yes, the power of the patch is really something to consider when you are thinking about all the different things that it can do for us. And I love your story. I'm glad you're doing well. It was such an honor to support you, on top of that. And, be sure that know that this patch is, you're never too old to start this patch, because people say, oh, I've already been there, it's not going to help me. And so that's where people are wrong. And you look at us starting it later in life, when we really have, and we're watching the improvement just get better and better. I'm healthier today, April, than I look and feel better at 60 than I ever did at 40.
It's
So
never too late to start anything, and it could be the best thing that you've ever done in your entire life, right?
it
And
has
so
been. It has
just
been.
go for it. And
Yeah.
man, yeah,
And not to mention the camaraderie, the family, the networking, and we have such fun at the conferences. I keep telling everybody to get a ticket and meet us at the conference, because we had so much fun last year, and you get to at least meet everybody in person. It's so delightful to actually meet people that I see on screen in person, and it's a great opportunity for that. And lastly, I suppose the most important thing is to pay it forward. Please share this video with anybody that you know that's suffering and could use some support, and let them know that there's ways to get it wholesale. You do not have to pay full retail, but you can pay retail if you want. But it's an amazing opportunity to try this. The company gives you 3 months money back guarantee. And the reason why they do that is because we know it takes about anywhere from 21 days to set a habit, but it can take up to 3 months for it to stick. And so, if you go and try something and for 21 days you say, it doesn't work, well, you haven't given it enough time. But if it does work, a lot of people will kind of fall off from using something. And so 3 months is the minimum. We expect people to at least give it that. And then for every year that you've had a condition, you want to give it 1 month of healing. So say you've had something for 5 years, it's going to at least take 5 months for you to see some results. It doesn't mean it's going to fix it, but to start seeing results. And that's what happened with me. It took up to a year because some of my conditions were so severe. And again, April, you're having the same thing. You've been on for almost a year now, and you've just seen nothing but improvement.
that's right.
And so that's what's so important about this. So we hope to see you again next week. We'll be talking about this amazing product on another, if there's more testimonials. But I do see an opportunity, April, for us to get back and have a little patch party. And we just talk
Love
about
it.
how to patch online. And you'd be a good one to just ask questions and say, what do we do, Suzanne? Because we have so many of these things we forget. And I just showed you with my hair and my ears and on my eyes. And so
Yeah.
it's fun to do that and to share. But thank you again, hon. I so appreciate it. I know Nikki's here making sure that we get off in ample time because there's more training ahead after this. But we did go over, but it was fun. I did see some
Thank
people come
you.
on late, so I wanted to make sure that they got their money's worth, so to speak, that they came on. So we had a great time. But I love it. And go let your dogs go to your little puppy
Oh
dogs
yeah,
out and give them relief. They've been really good. I hope they haven't made a mess on the floor for you. But
they haven't. They haven't.
thank you
Oh,
again,
thank
dear. I
you.
look forward to seeing you again.
Likewise.
Okay, bye everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.